Hey folks, it's Brad LeDrew here at Western GM in Drumheller, Alberta, Canada. Today we're looking at our very first 2020 GMC Sierra Elevation Edition. Now, if you're not familiar with the Sierra, it's available in 6 trims. So you got the custom, so your entry-level trim, your very popular SLE, and you've got this bad boy smack dab in the middle, and this one's the Elevation, and then you have the SLT, the AT4, and obviously the top dog, the Denali. Now, what's unique or what's cool about the Elevation Edition, as you can see, is everything is painted to match: bumpers, mirrors, wheels, grille, everything. So not a lot of chrome. If you want a lot of chrome, you're going to be going into an SLE or a higher SLT, but the equipment is there, and very, very sharp looking vehicle. By default, you have 3 engine options, or I guess the default engine is a 2.7 liter turbo 4-cylinder in this vehicle, and then you can upgrade to a 5.3 liter Ecotec 3 V8 with direct injection, and it's the new dynamic fuel management system and the variable valve timing V8. Or you can go with a 3 liter Duramax turbo diesel, obviously inline 6-cylinder. Most people are going in here, we're in Alberta, we're in truck country, a lot of people tow and haul and all that sort of stuff. So they go into the 5.3 liter, 355 horsepower, 383 foot-pounds of torque with your 10-speed automatic transmission. And this is what people go into. But let's get into it. Let's talk about this vehicle. So first off, you can see here, got the new all LED system, LED daytime running lights and marker lights. You see the Sierra right in here, looks really sharp. Same with your LED fog lights down low. Again, we talked about the painted to match bumper. I love the grille. You've got this really nice texturing and design within the grille itself. Really, really sharp. Moving on over to the side, you can see those painted 20-inch wheels. Looks really nice. Also, you can see in here, we've got these felt-lined Kevlar back so you don't get the pinging and panging when you're on gravel roads and stuff. And when we talk about GMC, we say professional grade. So that's why you get these plastic fender liners, so you don't get that leading edge of your vehicle all getting chipped up from rocks and sand and gravel on the roads. So again, saves your paint, your vehicle looks better over time. You can see the badge here as well. Looks nice. Again, we're talking about the Elevation Edition. Even looking down low, you can see this texturing difference here. I hope the phone can show it to you. You can see the texturing here. So you get the nice gloss black paint, and then you've got this texture rubberized coating down low, and it goes all the way along the body. And you can see right here where it shoots up. So again, GM's thinking about the longevity of the vehicle. You don't want to get paint peeling and rust, and even they've got a little rubber grommet here because that's a leading edge, so that doesn't get chipped up as time goes by. Really, really sharp. They've got these little built-in mud flaps. I personally like the bigger ones that come out, and I think it's an extra $120. Like, they're super inexpensive for a pair of them, and that's obviously a little option for a couple $100. Moving on back here, you can see we've got the easy corner step. This is bigger and deeper than the old generation, so again, put your big steel-toed boot in here, catch hole right here at the top, and now you're in the back of the box. Going on to the middle here. Now, when we talk about half-ton trucks like this one here with the V8, your standard out-of-the-box towing is 9,400 pounds. One of the very popular packages that people here in Alberta add to that V8 is called the NHT, the trailer or the max trailer package. So it takes your gross vehicle weight rating from 7,000 pounds to 7,300, and that increases your towing. You get enhanced cooling, you get heavier rear springs, and you get a tweak to your suspension for your handling and trailering. So you go from towing 9,400 pounds out of the box to 12,200 pounds in this half-ton V8. You can see we got our modern key, double tap. You notice it doesn't have the multi-pro tailgate. That's only available on the SLT, AT4, and Denali trims. Moving to the side here, you can see we've got the heavy-duty tie-down hooks, and we've got 3 on every corner, rated at over 500 pounds. You can see the LED box lights as well. We added the factory spray liner in this, which is like a $600 option. Definitely recommend getting that for, obviously, for truck purposes. It's a factory spray liner because it's got the GMC logo on the back. Now this is a power down tailgate, but it is a manual lift up and it's very, very easy to lift up. You can see down here low, you've got your 4-pin and your 6-pin wiring setups. You can see your hitch right here as well. Now your tail lights in these are just a traditional bulb. When you go to the SLT, AT4 and Denali's, there are LEDs in the back. I should point out down low, let's get in under here, your rear end. So in our vehicle, you've got a auto locking rear differential in this vehicle as well, a G80, Eaton's G80 auto locking rear differential. So when that wheel there starts to spin, it locks both wheels together so you get the best possible traction. You got disc brakes all the way around. They're 40% bigger than the outgoing generation. You can see the capless fuel door here as well. If this was the baby Duramax, obviously you'd have your DEF tank, your blue lid there. Now again, because we do have the modern key, again, you just walk up to the vehicle, you touch just that one proximity sensor and it unlocks just that door. If you double tap, it unlocks all 5 doors because your tailgate is a power locking tailgate as well. Now moving inside, you know, you've got some nice, you can see here, hopefully folks in, you got some nice soft touch materials. Your stitching, you're that faux or fa wood, some storage options here. Now, when you go into the Elevation Edition, you can get a value package, which adds like a power seat, and automatic climate control, and a few other things. And then you can get a convenience package. So the convenience package adds some really nice stuff like this seat back storage system, which people love. You can see the big armrest center console here as well. You see we got your 3 headrests in the back. The new redesign, push this button, and now you've got more visibility if you don't have people sitting in the back. And as well, you just catch hold of the seat anywhere, pull up, and you can see you got the under seat storage here as well. This has the factory floor mats. Okay, that's what they look like. A lot of our videos, if you've checked out before, they have the big what's called the GM floor liners, and we love the floor liners. They're only a couple $100. We just ordered this truck with the standard mats just to give you an idea of what it looks like with your standard, you know, mats that comes with it. Okay, catch hold of the seat anywhere, pull her down, good to go. Now you can see back here you've got a USB-C, a USB, you got an old style auxiliary power adapter, and again you've got your heat and vent controls back here as well. Let's give you an overview up here real quick. Now, if you notice, it does say 4x4 on the back of this bad boy, of course, but if this had the other big optional package that people get, so I already talked about the NHT, the Max Trailering package, the other very popular common one people get is your X31, and that would be a badge right here, the X31. So again, if you're not familiar with X31, it's kind of been rebadged. So that was the Z or the Z71 of old, and now they've rebadged it for GMC to be X31, whereas Z71 has stayed on the Chevrolet line to differentiate the product. But you get a lot of things when you get that X31. So you get the Rancho upgraded shocks, you get an HD air filter, so a high density air filter. Again, because you're probably driving on gravel roads, all that sort of stuff. You get the skid plates in under as well, you get hill descent control, and you go from a single speed transfer case to a 2-speed transfer case. The biggest thing giving you is you now get a 4-low, and we'll talk about that inside here in a second. But again, great looking truck. Let's walk up to the driver's side here. Let's go inside. Now, if this was just a regular Elevation Edition, it would have a manual seat. If you upgrade to the value package, it adds the 10-way power seat, the automatic climate control, and that sort of stuff that I mentioned just a second ago. But also, when you get the convenience package, you get the bucket seats. So if you notice, this is not a bench, a 6-passenger truck. This is a 5-passenger with a full bucket seats. And I love a heated cloth seat. Leather's really easy to clean up and that sort of stuff. If you're doing a lot of gravel, grid roads, all that sort of stuff, definitely get, you know, your leather upgrade, go up to an SLT, that sort of thing. But, you know, and obviously, if you're doing a lot of dirt and gravel roads, you probably want to have the X31 off-road package as well. But again, for a lot of people, this standard setup here on this Elevation is the way that most people like it. You've got lots of off-road capabilities. You can see here the seats to Really nice, different soft touch materials. The stitching is really, really nice. Really bolstered seat. The new seat, this cabin here for the front drivers and passenger has more head, leg, and knee room than any other half-ton truck. So you're getting the most possible space. Yeah, Ford does a little bit better job to make the cab bigger than ours. Okay, but this new cab is almost 7 inches of interior room better than the old outgoing generation. So again, Ford's still a little bit bigger. But where people matter, where you count the front drivers and passengers seats, we have more room, okay? And again, I love the option when you go to the convenience package of having the full bucket seats. Now, I mentioned a second ago about the the transfer case. So, on your on your custom, I want this camera to focus, I apologize. When you get the custom edition, the SLE or the Elevation, you have an optional X31. When you get the X31, like I said, you get a bunch of other stuff, and you also get the 2-speed transfer case. So a single-speed transfer case gives you auto 4x4, again, for if you're driving on gravel roads, a little bit of snow's on the, on the roads, that sort of thing, leave it in auto 4x4. If you're driving on asphalt, leave it in 2 high. You got 4 high for really bad, hairy situations. And then the single-speed transfer case, like I said, is standard on the custom SLE and Elevation. This is a terrain mode. So if you notice, so it says switch to 4 high, which we're going to do. And then you says you push for the terrain mode. And you notice that green icon comes down there, which looks like this icon here. And so that does some really, really, really cool stuff. So, for example, if you're rock climbing or going up a hill and you, maybe in the past you're used to 2-pedaling it, so gas and your brakes so you don't slide backwards, well, this will ride and hold your brakes for you. So it does a lot of really neat things when it comes to all-terrain, when you're going off-road, when you're going downhill, it'll hold and drag your brakes down a little bit so when you're doing low speeds. Your transfer case... your shift points of your transmission, the dampening on your steering, all changes based on these modes and how you change the style. But if you need 4 low, maybe you're in logging, maybe you're on construction sites that, in the past that 4 high doesn't cut it. You're often in 4 low. Then you would want to get on one of these 3 trims the optional X31 and get that 2-speed transfer case. If you notice, we got a mode up here. So when we turn this dial, you go from normal to sport to off-road. And that off-road, let's move it one more down. So normal driving, your sport actually makes a big difference. It makes your shift points that much quicker. Your shifting is really crisp. Your pedal response is adjusted, your steering is dampened, so you get a more road feel when you're driving. So GM spent over 2 million miles in the new half-tons designing this mode, and I can tell you that when you're driving in that sport mode, you see the checker flag, there is a noticeable difference in the performance of the vehicle. Now, moving on inside, we're here in Canada. Like I said, we know this is the convenience package. We've got the heated steering wheel, which is fantastic. People love that. You've got obviously Bluetooth. You've got this little control system here that controls what we see up here on the dash. Apologize, let's focus here. So we want to go and we want to just cycle through this. You can see I'm just scrolling with my thumb. Air filter life, brake pad life. So it's going to new. Let's just pop out and just show you that. And I've spoken about this in a previous video. But what GM has here, and what they've done with all their new half-tons and HD trucks, is that you notice, like, this truck's been on rail for a while and everything else. You notice there's not a bit of glazing or rust on this brake, and it's because these are Duralife rotors, and these brake pads have a little tiny copper wire that when it gets wore down to a certain point, it breaks the copper conductivity connection, and you get a warning on your dash saying that your brake pads are at 20% and it's time to get them replaced soon. Duralife rotors are baked like a normal rotor in a big oven so that they don't warp, obviously, when you're towing and doing hard brakes. But when GM bakes those rotors, they do something that no one else does. And they add nitrogen to that environment. And what it does, it makes that surface much more corrosive resistant. So that's something that's really cool. Because again, you don't want all rusty on your brand new truck. So pretty slick, pretty sweet. So moving back and inside here. Push button start you can see here as well. Moving on over to the infotainment system. Now, GM's done a really nice job with this. Everybody loved the outgoing generation's design and how it functioned. And all they've done is now this is high definition with a high definition backup camera and an optional high definition surround vision camera. So you can see here, we still have 4G LTE Wi-Fi in the vehicle. We've got our outside temperature sensor, our time. We can have multiple phones paired at the exact same time. You can see how slick this is. We've got a new split screen display. Okay. The standard radio that comes with this is what's in this right now. So it doesn't have satellite radio. You just have one bump upgrade and you get the satellite radio in this system as well. So you can see how quick this works. Hit the home button here, whoops, down here, and you're back to here. Scroll across, camera, hit home. We've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. So again, when you plug in your modern phone, and we've had this since 2017 in our half tons. So again, you plug in your Android phone, you plug in your Apple phone, and this becomes your screen with your iTunes, your audiobooks, your maps, your Google waypoints that you have set. And we've had that for a long time. It's really, really cool. We've got a little app here that you can press to check all your lights and all that sort of stuff to make sure everything's connected right, and your trailer brakes, trailer signal lights, and trailer lights are all working. Moving on down, again, we've got the heated seats with heat on your back and bum in 3 levels, or just your back. You can see we've got the dual zone automatic climate control I mentioned before. We've got our trailer brake controller, USB-C, USB, old style auxiliary power outlet. You can see the nice big large center console, the really nice soft materials and the stitching on the center console armrest lid, and a very deep console as well for storage. And moving up top there, you can see it's not focusing very well. And we also have, obviously, Onstar. So if you're not familiar with Onstar, Onstar is basically, I'll get this focused here, Onstar nowadays is basically 3 different things. So the first thing is that 4G LTE Wi-Fi in your vehicle with Wi-Fi hotspot. Your second thing Onstar is the app on your phone. You can start your truck anywhere. You can set waypoints for your truck so that when your truck leaves a certain area, your phone gets a text message from your truck saying, hey, I've left this area, or I've entered this area. So again, if you're using it for your teenage son or daughter, you're using it for business and you got a new employee and you're not sure if he's staying on the job site he's supposed to be at, and this will give you warnings when it leaves a certain area, and you can set those waypoints, those areas and warnings from the app in your phone. Shows your brake pad life, your air filter life, shows your fuel levels, all that sort of stuff is within that app as well. And then the third thing is what a lot of people think of OnStar, which is your safety and security. So heaven forbid, you're in a collision, you're in an accident, this airbags go off, that sort of stuff. You push that SOS button here, and you'll have a actual EMT on the phone guiding you, talking to you, keeping you calm, helping you dress a wound for somebody or help you deliver somebody's baby, or very importantly, calling emergency services for you. If you are an active subscriber to the OnStar, the SOS does something actually really unique, which is when your airbags deploy, it will call the vehicle. If you don't respond, it will call 911 for you and get emergency personnel here to you as soon as possible. So that is some really cool things with the OnStar. We also have, within this, we can go into settings with our infotainment, and we've got apps and we've got vehicle. So we've got some different things in here that we can check out, but we also have a team driver mode. So you can set warnings. Again, if you have a company truck, if you have something like that, a team driving your vehicle, you can set warnings for speed. You can see, different things like that. And you also have rear seat reminder in the vehicle as well, so that when you turn off the vehicle after you opened up the door, it would give you a ding, ding, ding here, reminding you that heaven forbid you left your puppy inside a hot vehicle, or even worse, you left your newborn son, daughter in the back seat. And we hear about that tragedy almost every single summer, and it's awful. But here you go. This is our very first 2020 GMC Sierra Elevation Edition in a 5.3 liter V8. And this is a gorgeous truck. Like I said, when you're going into the V8 with a 10-speed automatic transmission, your standard towing is 9,400 pounds, and you can get 12,200 pounds if you get the optional max trailering package. And because we're in Canada here, we'll just point out one thing. there's this little thing here you can remove, and that's actually where you have your block heater cable in this vehicle. But pretty slick, pretty neat. That is our all-new 2020 Elevation Edition. Have a great day, folks. Like, subscribe, comment, all that sort of stuff. We appreciate your feedback. And you know what? If you're near Drumheller, you're in Edmonton, you're in Calgary, come on down and say hello. We got the coffee's always on and it's always hot. And if you're not in Canada, if you're not near Alberta here, near to our dealership, get on down to your local GMC store, check out the truck, go for a drive, and I think you'll be very impressed. Quiet, comfortable, more capable than ever before. And the last thing, my goodness, I almost forgot. GM has taken the guesswork out of towing for you with this new trailer information sticker in all the new half-ton and HDs. So it gives you your curb weight, your max payload in this specific truck, gives you your towing in this specific truck, all right here, all at your fingertips, so that you know what your max trailering, your max tongue weight, all that sort of stuff is for the vehicle that you're driving. There you go, folks. Have a great day.